Francesco from Fattoria di Montemaggio. Welcome back to our YouTube channel and welcome to this new episode of An Italian Wine Journey. We are basically doing this virtual journey through the entire Italy, starting from the northern part, passing through the central part and finally arriving to the southern part, and we are basically analyzing in the details all the different Italian regions from the point of view of the wine production. So we're talking about viticulture, winemaking, and about their wines, of course. So today we're going to speak about Liguria, and I'm so excited, so I can't wait for it. Let's dive into it. So you should know that sea and landscape have always had a very important influence on viticulture and wine production in Liguria. Vineyards exposed to the sea breeze and often cultivated in steep slopes sloping down to the sea produce wine with a very peculiar and particular salinity, minerality, I would say also, that is not present in wines that are produced somewhere else. And terraces and steep slopes are often without access roads. For example, such as in the area of Cinque Terre that probably some of you already know. Often, of course, because of this reason, the majority of people define the viticulture approach of Liguria and Ligurian as heroic. Harvesting is actually strictly done by hand, and also the grapes are carried on the shoulders of the operators. This is not done by choice, but it's just because of necessity. It's done just because of necessity and because of the, of course, confirmation of territory. The small quantities of wines produced are distinguished for their originality in the Italian enological panorama. As we always say, all the different regions of Italy are so peculiar, are so particular. So today we are really taking a look to the peculiarity of Ligurian wine, but again, you can find amazing wine everywhere in Italy. And also, as we always say, wine is something personal. So we're just giving you some input and some suggestion and explaining you know, some of the most important characteristic of the all the Italians wine, of all the different Italians wine. But it's up to you then, of course, to decide what you want to try and what you don't want to try. So let's proceed now. Let's take a look to the wine in Liguria in figures. Vineyard area of Liguria is about 1,500 hectares, of which 65% is located in mountains, 34% is located in the hills, and just 1% in a flat area, on a flat land. Wine production in Liguria is about 46,000 hectoliters. Red and rosé wines, 35 represent the 35% of the production, and actually the white wines is the 65% of the entire production. So the majority of the Ligurian wines production is white wine. We have 8 DOC. We don't have DOCG, so we don't have denomination of origin controlled and guaranteed. We just have denomination of origin controlled, and 4 EGT. So when it comes about the history of viticulture in Liguria, we should mention that the first traces of vines cultivation in Liguria are dated back to Roman times. Of course, again, as we also discover in the 2 previous videos of An Italian Wine Journey, Romans played such an important role in terms of you know, that spreading of the knowledge when it comes about viticulture and winemaking. Ligurian wines are mentioned by Plinio il Vecchio, Pliny the Elder, even though the first cultivation were probably done by Etruscans. You know, as we also mentioned in other videos here on our YouTube channel, Etruscan were a population that was living in Tuscany, so where we are also located, and they are actually our roots. They are our ancestor. They were the first winemaker of the entire history of Italy, and so they also started probably to you know, cultivate vineyards in Liguria, but we don't have witnesses when it comes about that. written witnesses dates back to the Middle Age, come from the Riviera di Ponente, in the present territory of La Spezia and Cinque Terre when it comes about the vines cultivation. So proceeding our journey into the history of viticulture in Liguria, we arrive at the time of the Repubbliche Marinare, of the Maritime Republic. The commercial affirmation of Genoa and in general of the Maritime Republic also gave a great impulse to the viticulture and wine production of Liguria. The commercial contacts with different people and culture have certainly contributed to enrich the region from an ampelographic point of view. In 1500, it was known that grapes from Ligurian Riviera were renovated for their quality, and the first reference to Albarola, which is one of the most famous vine, are found. At the beginning of 1800, we can find some witnesses, and they are mentioning, of course, about Vermentino and Albarola. In general, by the way, this grape is known as Bianchetta. The ampelographic diversity of the region, which counted on almost 300 grape varieties at that time, was almost reduced to zero by the scourge of phylloxera. The environmental condition of the territory, which is mountainous, with terraces overlooking the sea, do not allow extensive cultivation. For this reason, the viticultural reality of Liguria is mainly made of small wineries that are usually making very small production. So let's talk about the vines of Liguria. Liguria inland, as we already understood, is mainly made of mountainous area. Therefore, the wine production in Liguria is concentrated along the whole coastal area, in part, where of course it's possible, in the inner areas of the region. So as we already understood, it's just a very small, tiny portion that you can find in terms of viticultural cultivation in the inner part of Liguria. The most common varieties are white grapes variety, in particular in the central and eastern areas, whereas in the eastern part of the region is concentrated the production of red grape variety. The most important white grape variety in Liguria, of course, is Vermentino, whereas the most important red grape variety is Rossese, a variety which resembles Nebbiolo because of its low content in terms of coloring substances. Other white varieties that are cultivated in Liguria are Pigato, Bosco and Albarola, whereas the red grape variety Rossese and Ormcetto and Barbera are also very important. Ciliegiolo is instead common in the central and eastern part of Liguria. So today we learned something more about Liguria and Ligurian wine. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you like this new format of an Italian wine journey. For more content like this, please don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to know more about Montemaggio, please check all of the videos. Of course, we are a little bit everywhere, so if you want to look for us on every possible social media, we are there, of course, and it's super easy to know something more about us. We have also a website which is full of very valuable content, which is www.montemaggio.com. And for all the people that are living in UK, we have a dedicated website which is www.montemaggio.uk.co. So please just of course take a look if you want, and don't hesitate to contact us. We are always very happy to reply to everybody. See you next time. Ciao.